Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have the exciting opportunity of highlighting our new strategic plan, our recipe for transformation. There is a children's book which our grandchildren love, The Monkey Puzzle by Donaldson and Scheffler. Baby monkey is looking for her mother with the help of Butterfly. Butterfly shows her all kinds of animals based on baby monkey's descriptions. Until baby monkey says in frustration, "Butterfly, butterfly, can't you see? None of these creatures looks like me." Butterfly answers, "You never told me that she looked like you." Baby monkey says, "Of course I didn't. I thought you knew." Butterfly answers, "I didn't know. I couldn't. You see," as she pointed to caterpillars feeding in the grass, "none of my babies looks like me." This gets me reflecting about Rotary from our early days. Eggs that developed into gregarious caterpillars growing and spreading to cover the world. The caterpillar is probably content, thinking it is the adult. It then changes to a chrysalis, transforming in something new, something more beautiful, something more mobile. The butterfly, serving its real purpose of cross-pollinating the plant species. The caterpillar's evolutionary changes, and truly revolutionary during the chrysalis stage, are controlled by its genetic structure. Rotary International, not being born by nature, uses the strategic planning processes to create its own evolutionary changes, and indeed, revolutionary at times, as Paul Harris said. We may be content with our current state, but that only serves to deny us our greater future, our opportunity to be the butterfly serving its purpose, becoming something more beautiful, more mobile, and more integral to the fabric of our society. Yes, we do not have a genetic code, but the values that hold us true, regardless of the form we take, are the perfect equivalent. Fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. Through a process of internal and external consultation over the last 3 years, the Rotary World has set a new path for our next evolution, and indeed, in many aspects, revolution, starting with our new inspiring vision, which was mentioned by our president this morning. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. I love this vision. It speaks to Rotary International and its foundation. It speaks to the Rotary Club, and it speaks to the individual Rotarian. And yet it goes well beyond that, because our together brings in everyone around the globe, corporate and individual, public and private, young and old, who see the potential for good, the potential to bequeath out to our children a better world than what we have now. Our new vision guided the 4 strategic priorities, again mentioned this morning. The first one being increasing our impact. This has got specific focus on eradicating polio and leveraging the legacy, focusing our programs and improving our ability to measure impact. The polio eradication effort has sharpened our capabilities. We have brought together diverse partners, mobilized a global force of volunteers. We have learned that we must make measurement a culture, especially as we move to larger projects. We now understand the need for better planning in major undertakings. We now appreciate that major funding agencies and our younger Rotarians demand evidence-based assertions. True to our together anchor in the vision statement, the second strategic priority is expanding our reach. through growing and diversifying our membership and participation and continuing to build awareness of our impact and brand. The essence of what has held us together over the last century is the Rotary experience, delivered within the context of our values. We all love the club model, and yet our research has shown that there are many out there, especially among the younger generations, who would wish to engage with what we do but are not attracted to the club experience. Shouldn't we then create new channels, new ways of participation, new ways of delivering value? Worldwide, innovative business value chains have led to the collapse of enterprises that become the prisoners of their past successes. We must not let that happen to Rotary. The third strategic priority, enhancing participant engagement, particularly speaks to our Rotary Club model. We frequently fail to deliver on our promises or to the expectations of our members, and therefore, we lose them faster than we recruit them. There must be focus by clubs and Rotary International on developing participant-centered approaches to delivering values, including new opportunities for personal connection and growth. Rotary clubs should not only be channels for addressing societal challenges, they must also be an opportunity for personal development and growth. The fourth strategic priority speaks to transforming Rotary so that progressing from larva to chrysalis to butterfly, we can better fulfill the purpose of our organization. We must increase our ability to adapt. And we shall do this by building a culture of research, innovation, and willingness to take risks. We shall streamline governance, structures, and processes, and we must especially review governance to foster more diverse perspectives in decision-making. We are all proud of the values and achievements of our organization, but let's admit that the speed with which we make decisions is too slow for this century. Our outlook and direction are under the dominant control of those of us above our 60s. In our golden years, we tend to reminisce a lot, to remember the good old days, with the negative consequence that while we sometimes look to the future, most of our time we spent looking backwards. And this we pass on to our great organization. Gender representation in leadership, especially at the higher levels, is not something we can be proud of. We must change, we must adapt, and we must do so now. As we start the implementation of our new strategic plan, next Rotary year, we must accept that the speed of change in the macro environment is increasing, not reducing. This means that our plans must also be adaptive. And this will call for strategic leadership at all levels of Rotary. In this combination of both evolutionary and revolutionary change, our values will remain our center of gravity, and our vision will be our compass. Fortunately, the vision and strategic priorities are relevant and applicable at all levels, and they do not impose any constraints on the freedom of the clubs. Within the same vision and priorities, the clubs will only be limited by their innovativeness in coming up with new ways to increase their impact, to expand their reach, to enhance the engagement of their participants, and to increase their ability as clubs to adapt.